Welcome back everyone, thanks for tuning in again. Welcome to old subs, welcome to your new subs. If you're not subbed, click sub. Handlebars, exciting subject today. So this is for the geeks out there that love bikes. A lot of you know that I run quite narrow bars on my road bike, so I run a 40mm bar on my road bike. I like it because it keeps everything really narrow and tucked in and nice and aero, and I don't have particularly wide shoulders, so it really works for me. On gravel, the trend at the moment is to run wider and wider and wider, crazy wide bars, right? And I was like, yeah, I want to do that because on a mountain bike, it just makes sense. You know, you've got more control, more stability, more everything. It just makes sense on a mountain bike. So why would it not make sense on a gravel bike to run like a 50mm wide bar? Seems like it kind of might make sense when you think about it compared to mountain bike bars. Right, so Juliet was getting ready for the Barebones 200. Is it Barebones 200? A really long gravel ride. You can check out her video actually, I'll put a link down below. And I was like, you should run really wide bars because it's just more comfortable. And she's like, no, I shouldn't. And then we were to and froing and, you know, arguing about it. And then after a bit of research and a bit of thinking, it did kind of make me realise that I don't think a wide bar is best for gravel. It's just not. I'm going to talk about how you can like solve all of these problems, I suppose, with one solution, and that is with flared bars. So you can have a narrow bar and a wide bar at the same time. So I have a 44mm set of flared bars. They're just some cheap ones I bought off of, what's it, Planet X. They're 44 at the top, and I think they're 48 on the drops. So when I'm descending, I've got a nice wide, stable platform to hold on to when I'm on my drops. And if I'm climbing and everything, I'm on the tops and it's not crazy wide, so it's quite nice. And I will tell you my reasoning behind going narrower, I suppose, whilst I put these bars on.
Dave?
Yeah?
How the hell are you supposed to buy foundation during COVID?
What do you mean?
Like, I need to do makeup, but you can't try anything on because all the makeup counters are shut for the COVID. How do you know what shade to get?
Oh, Juliet's just asked an important question. How do you know which shade foundation you buy during COVID? Because normally you just go and try them on, right? And with COVID you can't just try them on. So Juliet is struggling to work out what shade foundation to buy. I might point this out actually. Juliet's probably been wearing foundation for quite a few years, so should actually probably know what colour her skin is, because like most of us, like we've been the same colour for our entire lives, but Juliet seems to have forgotten. So yeah, if anyone does know what colour or shade foundation Juliet should be buying, answers on a postcard or leave a comment over on her channel. So yeah, that was much more interesting than me talking about handlebars, wasn't it? So if you are taking your bars and hoods off, by the way, there's a little screw when you flap your, you can flap this bit of rubber back and then undo this bolt here. Anyway, right, so narrow bars versus wide bars. So I'm not a bike fitter. Francis K does do a lot of really cool bike fit stuff on his blog, so do check out his channel if you do want to like, well, watch a professional talk about like bike fit. But this is my experience, and I've ridden a bike for a long time and I kind of know what works for me. If you're running a wider bar, it means that your arms are further apart essentially, which will make it more stable on things such as descents. It'll also give you a bit more leverage, say if you're doing like a sprint. But the issue is that the wider your arms are, the more strain that puts through your chest. So if you're riding for a long time on bumpy ground and your arms are quite far apart, there's going to be a lot of bumps and vibrations going through your chest. It's going to really fatigue you a bit quicker. And if you're a mountain biker, and like, honestly, if you look at a physique of a mountain biker compared to a road cyclist, they're very different, you know. Road cyclists are really, really lean. I know, dropping the bolts. Mountain bikers are like a lot more muscly, and they have like bigger upper bodies. And as a wimpy road cyclist, I don't have a massive chest. I don't have really big chest muscles, so riding like for a really long time like that, I do get really tired. For me, running a bar that's the same width as my shoulders, and then having that bit of extra at the bottom, it means that for most of the ride I'm riding on the hoods that's really comfortable, and that's really nice. But if I want to have a bit more stability, I can just move my hands down to the drops, and it lowers my centre of gravity, and my arms are wider apart, and it's only for a short period like on a descent. So essentially I've got that stability, but then I can switch back to something that's less fatiguing for my upper body. I mean, if you've got a really strong upper body, fair play, it might be fine, but for a lot of us roadies, it is going to fatigue you. And when you want to do a nice long ride and it's going to be bumpy, why fatigue yourself, you know? Why not give yourself, well, every advantage, right? So another thing about flared bars is that when you put your hoods on, as you can see here, right, they end up a lot more angled in. So the actual like brake levers are like pointing outwards, and that means if you're running a bar bag, you've got a lot more room, so you can still actually shift without hitting your bag. So it does give you more room. So I mean, one of the reasons people might run wider bars is because they want to put a bigger bar bag in. They look cool as well, don't they, like hoods, when they're like angled, I think. Right, so I think I've got my hoods in roughly the right place. I need to have another little look. Right, so here's a tip. When you put your hoods on, maybe have your bike level so you don't end up with them pointing insanely up in the air. Or is that my bars that are pointing up in the air? I don't know. So another reason, right, why you'd run flared bars is they look cool, so why would you not? This bar tape might show other bars are shorter, so I'm not sure if this bar tape is actually going to reach.
There's some bar tape in that cupboard though.
Yeah, but I really like the fabric one. It feels so nice and it's always grippy, even when it's wet. Genuinely though, like this fabric bar tape is banging. I love it. We can like chat about the weather whilst I'm doing this. Actually, we can in this Juliet. Juliet, why would you run flared bars?
I think the extra width gives you more control. It gives you more space so that you can still shift when you've got bags. When you're descending, if you have got your arms slightly wider and slightly lower, you're going to have a lower centre of gravity and more stability.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So basically, it's nice to know, right, that, look, see guys, I'm not talking complete rubbish. I kind of know what I'm talking about because that's what I said. Either that or we both don't have a clue. And right, look, I said it looks cooler, right, when your hood's are pointing.
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks cool. See, so like main reason, it looks cool. Side reasons are, like, it's better for fatigue, so you get less fatigue. Excuse me.
Sorry, I've been wandering out, I'm just cleaning my chain. Right, I've done it.
1 minute. She's done it. She's done it. She's cleaning her chain in the kitchen. So basically, there's a whole heap of reasons why flared bars are good, and they're trendy, right?
Can you think of any negatives? So I can't.
Any negatives?
Yeah, I can't think of any.
No. I used to really dislike them because the first flared bars I had were 38 at the top and like 44 at the bottom. And I was like, these feel really horrible. And because it was great on the drops, but the tops was awful. It was just too thin for me. But since I switched to like, you know, I'd go for a bigger flare, honestly, if I could sometimes, I think. I can't get my bar plug in. We'll just do it in a really safe way. Right, so after much swearing, I've got that in. I'm going to now tape the other side. And then, yeah. Lots and lots of room there on the bars, lots of room on the hoods, got loads of room for shifting stuff, and yeah, generally awesome, right? Right, so hopefully that gives you a bit more information as to why you'd run a flared bar. Try them out, you don't have to spend a load of money. Like I said, I think mine were like 20 quid from Planet X, but they're a nice shape and that's what I like. So I guess I'll have to ride them to let you know how they really feel. But thanks for watching, hope you found this interesting. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!